There, boom. Hey guys, it's Mike, the Wrestling God Smith, and you guys are watching All in Wrestling. This video I just did a Superman review. It's posting, so give it a look. I just want to see what your thoughts on. If you got any questions, put it on the comments, and I'll answer them the best I can when I get to them. Um, this video though, I am gonna talk about All In. I didn't watch the 0 hour, but I watched the pay-per-view of All In. I actually watched it from beginning to end. And I gotta say, All In did fantastic. They did. But you know what I loved? And there's some things that I hated, right? You see, the thing that and I'm gonna go into what I hated first before I go into like a full, just to get it started on the review here. Is the three-way tag match was not needed. It was not. I'm gonna say that because here's the thing. You see, I love the Hurt Syndicate. I love those guys. I love what MVP and Shelton and MJF are doing. And I'm just like, why do we even need it for why do we even need to go for 16 minutes? Because you know what? I like the Hurt Business, but here's the problem with the Hurt Business. Is if you beat the teams that you're beating, you don't have a tag division. And I like that they're running through the guys, but the only people I think that are probably going to give them a challenge, if they even get around to them, would be the Gates of Agony, maybe Big Bill and Brian Keefe. I don't even know. Because they want the tag team titles, and so does Jet Speed. And I'm cool with Jet Speed. I really am. I really like Speedball, Mike Bailey. I love Speedball. I love Kevin Knight. Love what they're doing. But here's what I mean. Those dudes got their leg. He got his leg messed up on Dynamite. That whole angle wasn't even really needed because they didn't show it. And I'm kind of pissed off at the whole thing because I thought about it. It was a good match. It really was. But you didn't need three teams. You didn't need the patriarchy because God knows they weren't going to get those tag titles. And even if they did, it wasn't like it was going to change anything because FTR want the belts too. They want a shot. And my point to this is, like, why would you even need to bring them out for commentary? Just for them to scope. We already know at All Out in September literally is going to get a tag team title shot or at Forbidden Door, because the way I see it is they're pulling the trigger on this one. Like, the thing is, FTR is gonna be a heel tag team champion. They're gonna be a heel tag team champion for a bit until until Jet Speed or somebody or the Patriarchy Group. I don't even know, but you got so many teams, but you're not doing with them, and this is where I kind of have a problem with, because it's like you're in this box here that the Hurt Business literally just they were mollywomping every team, even like Christian and Nick Wayne. And I love Nick Wayne. I love what he's doing. He's a great guy, but he's only great. And the thing is, he's young, and I get what they want to do with him. I get they want to push him, and I think that was what the heel turn was really for. Because now, you didn't even need it. Like, he was already a heel. What you did was you cut Christian off because you wanted to cut Christian off. And I get it. Christian's a different ball game, unlike the Judgment Day with Edge, which I think was the dumbest thing to do. But I digress. And this is what we get for Judgment Day 2.0. But I digress again. And this is the thing. The Hurt Business still won the titles. And FTR gets involved. And then they try to give a concerto. And I love that Edge came back. I really do. I love that he bought Spike. I really do. But my problem with it is that you're trying to build a tag division off of a dominating team and 5 lesser known tag teams on that roster right then and there. And for some inexplicable reason, they have not figured it out. They have not figured it out. And because I'm saying they have not figured it out is my thought process, because they have not figured it out. It's the same thing with the Ops. It's like, I love that they did something similar with Joe. I love that they gave him a 0 hour match, which would have been fine, because I think they should have been on the card. They should have made it a 16 match card. I really feel like they should have did like 16 matches, because they would have figured it out. And That's my thing on that one. I hated that. Because here's the thing. I don't mind a heel winning because it advances them through the story. But the thing is, Christian's got to come out this Wednesday and basically explain or try to get Nick Wayne to explain to him and the family and Shayna Wayne and Kip Sabian, which would have been smart if they had another member because having a 4-person team would have made sense, or basically getting Luchasaurus would have been fine. And I get it like a bag of chips. I do. I get it. I understand it. But that's my problem with that match because it's just been like a 7-minute match. It really should have been 7 or 5 minutes, really, because the thing is, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And the Hurt Syndicate are going to lose those belts, but they're going to lose it probably by FTR. And I might want to say FTR because they're the only team. And maybe the Young Bucks if they get around to being in the tag again. That's my feeling about it. But also, I did like. Now I'm going to talk about the stuff that I love because I'm going to go into this review here with All In. Is that I loved what we got at All In. I love the match of my night was Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné for the AEW Championship, and my second match, like third match of the night, was Kenny Omega versus Okada. And my greatest match of the night was Hangman Page versus John Moxley in a Texas Deathmatch for the AEW title, which for the world title, which was great. And I'm gonna be honest with you, we got a new women's division also, and we got a new unified championship division also, because now we can set people. Now the lower people can go to that title or the TNT title, which I think that's like kind of like it's kind of that match. The TNT title match was good. I'm just mad that Adam Cole had to retire, and I'm glad they let him do it on a big stage instead of doing it in Dynamite. I'm proud that they did that. I'm proud that Daniel Garcia came out. I'm proud of that. But look, that Mercedes Moné match and Toni Storm match was phenomenal. Because you know what it did? And credit me, I love Toni Storm. I will always love Toni Storm to the end of till my dying day. Is because what I don't like with Mercedes Moné is that she kicked out of everything. Like Toni Storm tried to do her big move. She did the hip attack. She did the Storm Zero. Like 3 Storm Zeros is crazy off of a bad arm. And she still won. And the fact that she snogged a little bit was funny to me because I like Toni Storm. I like that she gets ridiculous. I like that she can. Her promo was good because we knew it was coming out. Because the thing about Mercedes Moné is that she can put up a fight against maybe, Jamie Hayter, maybe Britt Baker, maybe a bunch of people if she wanted to do that. And I think Mariah May should have just stayed in AEW. I think she should have just stayed there and took on Mercedes for that TNT belt. And I say this because what Toni Storm did in that match, she made her look like a dog. Like Toni Storm or Mercedes Moné should have been like this thing. If Mercedes Moné would have won if there was a crazy finish, if she had somebody involved. Because ever since she's gotten all these belts, and it's like, here's the thing. She wants to be this dominant women's champion. She's the blueprint. She's the standard. But here's the thing about it is, right? You're only this standard because you were in WWE, which was in a smaller, bigger talent pool at the time. Now that AEW is around 6, 7 years in, they're already building the matches. And the thing about it is that she said she's a CEO. It's no different. It's no different. And there's gonna be a losing streak because now that she lost, because I like that now there is a woman, now there is a women's division again. Now we've got bigger members. Now we got Yuka Sakazaki. Now we got I forgot her name. Winter. I forgot her name now. You got her. You literally have Ember Moon. I mean, the goddess Athena now. You have her who gets a guaranteed championship match anytime, any place. Like, same thing with MJF. You have a bigger roster, but I'm going to get into that later. Because, like, look, that match was amazing. The women's Casino Battle Royale was amazing. And I'm gonna tie into that too. Because what we got, because now that Tony beat Mercedes Moné is going to go on a losing streak. She might go deranged. Because I need her to go deranged. Like, we need a Laurel Van Ness situation where she goes completely insane. And that's the problem you don't get. You don't get a chance to go like on a losing streak and then go completely bonkers. Like, we never got that. We got that from Hangman. But never Mercedes Moné. And now we might see that on Wednesday night where Mercedes Moné gets, like, she might defend TBS title, and then she loses that belt, loses the CML belt, and maybe the other one, Queen of the South, and all these other belts, she might lose them too, but that's probably later down the road. But this is what I'm saying. Tony Storm just gave her a loss that she beat her clean. It wasn't no crazy finishes, it wasn't nothing nuts, right? She lost clean. And what I liked about the women's battle royale, we got a lot of friendships, a lot of enemies. And what I liked about it was we literally got Ember Moon getting her shot that she's been wanting to get ever since she got here. And now we got a revitalized women's division, which really works in that sense, right? And it's kind of the same for the United title scene, because now that Okada's like, and I'm also going to talk about that too. The Okada versus Omega match was good. Like, for the final, like, Okada versus Omega, I want to say like 5. Because we've had 4 already. We've had it in New Japan. We had it once before. I think now that he's in AEW, that this was 5, I feel like it's more vindicated. Because Okada's always wanted to beat Kenny and be the best. And now that he beat Kenny, and he beat him clean. I'm not going to lie. He didn't, like, Don Callis didn't get involved. He beat him clean. And that's what I'm going to say. He beat him clean. And that match was phenomenal. Like, the fact the crowd was into it, the fact the entrance was good, the fact that Okada came out. And the thing about Okada is, like, he's always been that ace of New Japan, just like Ishii, just like, Ishii, just like Ibushi, just like Tanahashi, like all these guys. And I want to say maybe Takeshita as well. And this is the thing, is like, he's a monster. This dude is a machine. And he gets up and he goes in, and like, he gave Kenny Omega's like 5 Rainmakers and he ate them all. And he just did not want to die. Like, he did not want to give up. And Kenny Omega, I give him a lot of credit for doing this, because, like, he came back from diverticulitis. And the fact is, maybe there's a little bit more to give. Maybe they're going to have a rematch, and it might be at Forbidden Door. And I feel like they should do it at Forbidden Door and cap it off so Kenny finally beats Okada. Okada can move on to the World Heavyweight scene. I think he should. Because I want to see Rainmaker against Buckshot. I want to see, because I want to see Hangman versus Okada, because we've never got that match. We've never gotten it. But I do want to see that, and I'm glad that they revitalized the same thing with the TNT title situation. Like, Dustin Rhodes is TNT champion, which he wanted to be since, like, Brody Lee and his brother. Like now there's an established, like, hierarchy over there now. And what I also want to talk about, what the main event was nice. That main event was, like, I don't even want to use awesome. That main event was all elite, because, bro, like, the thing is, they went nuts. Like, Adam Page getting the fork and getting first blood, like Mox being psychotic and just going on with the barbed wire and putting the mark in his head and he's gushing out blood. He was bleeding already. And the fact that Marina Shafir ate a table spot, got Death Valley drivered through tables and ate it. And it's like, bro. And then getting handcuffed by Nana and Swerve coming out and that being a cathartic thing. Like 9 months ago, I was so tired of this story because I wanted it to end. I didn't care who wanted it. I didn't care who was going to be champion. I thought it was going to be Darby. I thought it was going to be Swerve. I thought it was going to be Samoa Joe. Like, I wanted somebody to just take that belt. And the one guy that from the beginning with Hangman, like when he said, "Give me liberty, give me death," and I've been through death itself to get that title. Like, bro, he burnt somebody's house. He's been a deathmatch psychotic guy. He can go that realm. And the fact that he did, and the fact that he went to his old theme, and it was cathartic because it's like, bro, he's been through hell to get that belt. The fact that we did not see that belt, because it made me feel good. It made me feel crazy good because he got that belt and he tapped him out. Like, bro, he tapped out. He didn't get knocked out. He tapped out. Same thing with the Bucks versus Swerve and Will. Like, it was the heart of AEW against the heart of the EVPs. And the fact that they beat them, because they've been both like running around and just doing dumb, like they beat them. Yeah, they're not the founding father, because you know who's the founding fathers of this? Kenny's the founding father of this. All of you guys are founding fathers. And Tony Khan, because he gave you guys a spot. And the joke is the fact that he did, the fact that Hangman was bleeding, and the fact that he finally opened that case and the championship came out, and the fact that they did the hidden bleed, house call combo. Like, bro, you that's the thing we need. Now we have a revitalized title scene, not just because of MJF. MJF is gonna get that title. But it might not be at Forbidden Door. It might be at All Out. It could be at Revolution. It could be at Winter is Coming. It could be any one of the pay-per-views, maybe Double or Nothing. It could be anywhere. But the fact, and I'm going to say this, the fact that title scene is going to be, that world title scene is going to be crazy this Wednesday. I mean, nutso. I mean, it's going to be like if Samoa Joe, like now that Darby's back, it's going to be Darby. It's going to be Swerve. It's going to be Kenny. It's going to be Will. It's going to be all of them in that circle pod wanting that belt. And it might be, and I can say this too, it could be Takeshita as well. It could be Fletcher. And I want to say this because it could be him. It could be a bunch of them. Because, like I said, All In, what we got for 2025 All In, and I'm going to say this, them going head-to-head against Saturday Night's main event, and everybody saying that Saturday Night's main event is better. No, if you're wrestling, like, listen, if you like, and I'm going to say this too, if you like WWE, or AEW, or Ring of Honor, any wrestling company, don't sandbag it for the rest of us. I don't go into the wrestling on the IWC, the online wrestling community, because I don't believe in it. I see the product on TV. I take a different approach to it. That's why I became a wrestling YouTuber, because I'm passionate about it. But this is what I'm saying. We got a cathartic feeling from this pay-per-view. We got cathartism. And you don't really get that, right? I've seen a lot of crazy things in AEW, but the fact is, the man who wanted the title, probably more than MJF, and I don't think the Hurt Syndicate are going to let him walk in with that world title, and it's not Bobby Lashley. Because Bobby Lashley's probably going to want a title shot too. He's just not saying it yet, but he's going to want one. Because the fact is, I want to see Hangman versus Bobby Lashley. I want to see him versus Will Ospreay. I want to see him even go... Because, like, the thing is, Mox being champion was dumb. Because I wanted Mox to be champion, but against Darby. And the fact that he stole it wasn't my problem that he stole that opportunity from him. You see, the Death Riders, and I'm saying this too, the Death Riders as a group worked. Because what it was supposed to be, what was the Undisputed Kingdoms thing was supposed to be, it should have been, was to take over AEW, and they did. That's what the Elite's job was supposed to be, to take over AEW, and they didn't. The Death Riders did it by holding the title hostage, which you would have never done in WCW or WWE, because you'll never really get that group. I mean, you don't. Like, Brock Lesnar being that one guy, yes, in certain situations, yes, in the time, yes. But what I want to say to this is that All In, it wouldn't have worked if Hangman didn't win that title. It wouldn't have worked. Because we basically got a Marvel Civil War storyline in 9 months. In 9 months. And the fact they did this, and the fact they kind of, because you had Swerve, because Will was right. And I'm going to say Will was right because he even said maybe it's not him. Maybe it's not Swerve. It's the guy who's been in AEW, who went to hell and went on a different path and lost all his friends and cut his friends off to win that title. That's what bothers me. But the fact that he came back to being the Hangman that we first fell in love with, who isn't deranged anymore, and I'm not mad about that, is now AEW champion, ladies and gentlemen, because this is what I'm saying. That man deserves to be AEW champion probably more than MJF. And MJF, I'm not going to say he wasn't a good champion. That dude is so focused on being the most despicable man in AEW, isn't focused on the belt. And Mox is right. You don't fight, you display it. Because now we have AEW. Now AEW is back on the map. Now Wednesday is going to be crazy because we got All Out to worry about. In the next month, because we literally have a week to go. 2 weeks to go. And we got a lot to go through. And I'm going to be honest, guys. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Peace. And this is my All In review. And I'm going to give All In, 2025, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It didn't need a lot of matches. It really didn't. Because I'm giving it a 10 because we got a champion that we want. We got a champion that got a definitive end to his story. And now the championship, the title scene is revitalized. That's what I'm going to say. It is revitalized now. So, like I said, I am going to do a AEW Dynamite review. I might do a Monday Night Raw review tonight to see what happens in Monday Night Raw. But if I don't, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Peace and love and bye.